Happy Wednesday! Lan and I are back, as promised, to discuss ways to make your holiday dessert recipes healthier. We're also going to talk about what you should look for and what to completely avoid when grocery shopping for sweets.
So the first tip for you guys is an easy one. When your recipe calls for sugar, just simply cut the recipe back by a third. And then if you didn't want to use sugar, you can use pureed prunes, and the ratio is 1-to-1. So if the recipe calls for a cup of sugar, you could just use a cup of the pureed prunes, and that's going to give you added fiber and more fiber benefits to your cookies or desserts. And then all in all, if you just wanted to keep the recipe the same, just make the cookies smaller or the dessert smaller. That makes for a smaller portion. You can use, add in seeds, so flax seeds, hemp seeds, or chia seeds all add health benefits and antioxidants to make your recipe a lot healthier than without them. And then you can just use whole wheat flour instead of all-purpose flour. That's a good swap to get. So it's not so processed, and we recommend whole wheat or whole grain products anyway, so you might as well use the whole wheat flour.
Some other ideas are to cut the amount of butter that you're using in half and instead use Greek yogurt for that other half. You'll get added protein in your dessert that way. Another idea is to add nuts. Again, that's going to add protein. Just try and avoid anything that's honey roasted or anything with added sugars, because that's just going to add to the calories and the sugar in that product. You can also swap your milk chocolate out for dark chocolate, because there are added health benefits to that. Also, try applesauce instead of butter and oils in your cookies or other desserts, because that is a healthier option. And then also another new dessert idea that you might not have heard of are black bean brownies. And the beans actually help bring out the chocolate flavor in those brownies. So it's a really good new idea that you might want to try out. And we'll actually put a recipe underneath this video that you can check out.
Alright, so we just went over ways to make your recipes healthier when you're making them yourself. Now I'm going to go over ways to ensure that you buy a healthier option when you're purchasing a pre-made dessert at the store already. So the first one you want to look for is to buy a angel food, a sponge cake, lady fingers, or gingerbread. Along with, you could look for desserts that already have fresh fruits in them, dried fruits, or oatmeal. All of those choices make for a healthier and more nutrient dense dessert for you, instead of just like a plain chocolate or vanilla cake. When you're taking something that has canned fruit in it, always make sure you look for a can that has the fruit in 100% fruit juice or just water. Try to stick away from heavy syrup or light syrup. That just has a lot of added sugar that you don't need. And then when you're looking for like an ice cream or something, choose gelato instead of ice cream, just because the gelato has less sugar and less fat than a typical ice cream tends to have. And then if you want like an ice pop or a popsicle, choose one that has 100% fruit in it instead of just a fruit popsicle or anything like that. There's a lot of different brands of them. Just look for that 100% fruit.
All right, so now that you know what to buy at the grocery store, we're going to talk about what to avoid entirely. Definitely try to avoid large portions of desserts. If you know that you're getting a dessert for just you and 3 other people in your family, don't get the dessert that serves 12, because then you're going to end up with more than just a serving. Also, when you're looking at ice creams and frozen yogurts, avoid ones that have more than 3 grams of fat. You also want to avoid whipped cream, and try and stay away from frosting and icing. I know that they taste good, but they're definitely going to pack on the pounds. Also, try to avoid buying really rich, dense cakes. Like Leanne said earlier, look for that angel food cake. You also, during this holiday season, try to avoid double crusted pies. A lot of times with pies, the calories really come from the pie crust rather than what's actually in the pie. So if you can, try and just sprinkle on some dried fruit on top instead of putting a whole nother layer of pie crust on there. And then you also want to avoid dessert sauces, so like chocolate sauce, caramel sauce, all of those toppings that really add to the calories of the ice cream that you're already having. It's okay to have dessert every once in a while, but you don't want to make it a whole meal with 500 calories. We hope you enjoyed today's videos and the ideas on how to make your holiday desserts healthier. Comment below and let us know if you try any of these and how you like them.
And tune in for next week's video where we'll go over how to survive Thanksgiving Day.
See you next week.
Thank you.